Okay, what we're going to show you today, today's tutorial is how to create pretty much every Flash cartoon that you've ever seen on YouTube. First thing you want to start out with is character. Most movie, cartoon, animation type stuff, it's good, complex colors and shading and 3D a lot of times. That's great, and you move down to TV and it's not usually not 3D, still has some color. Fairly complicated characters, but a little more simple. When you get down to the inner level, you want to do a stick figure. That's about as advanced as you want to go. Black lines, no color, anything like that. Keep it really simple. And to do that, all you have to do is circle head, line body, throw a couple of arms in there. Don't worry about elbows or knees at this point. That's more an advanced kind of thing. And then go ahead, select each of these and convert them over to a symbol. Do that for each of them, and then you can start, assembling your guy a little bit better, however you want him. And eventually you'll end up with a guy like this. So next thing you want to do is create your storyline. So what I've done is I've created, two characters over here, and the storyline for all Flash cartoons is going to be them fighting. You don't need to set up why they're fighting with any voiceover explanation. In fact, don't use voice at all. Sound effects are great every time they hit each other. Good punching noise. Just pick one and use it through the whole thing is great. But to start out, we'll go ahead and give these guys a background. Put them in context a little bit. So I'm going to draw a line back here so that we know they're standing on the ground. Go ahead and lock that layer and we're done with our background. And then for the rest of these guys, we want to go ahead and create some extra frames in here so the movie can go a little further. I'll start with guy 1 here. We're going to make him the main guy who we're rooting for. Go ahead and insert some keyframes here, and first keyframe is just going to have him standing there. Go ahead and do the second keyframe for all these. We're going to go ahead, grab this guy, grab all these keyframes here, and what we want to do is we're going to make him jump towards the other guy. So that takes care of that. And while he's jumping, go ahead and select this leg here. We got our little pivot point up here at his crotch. You can adjust each of these pivot points. Like this one's got a pivot point here. So we'll go ahead and pivot this guy over here so he is kicking the other guy. That's pretty good. Just leg out. Looks good to me. So after that, we're going to need to do another keyframe here. Insert keyframe, and we'll go ahead, bring that leg back down a little bit, and then just grab the first guy, just the main guy. Don't want to grab guy number 2 at all. Okay, so and then he's just going to come down and land on the ground there. So what we also want to do, that takes care of guy number 1. Guy number 2 here will open up, and what was that? First keyframe here is frame 11, so we're going to come over here, got an extra layer there. Come over here and do a keyframe when he's getting kicked. Okay, so we've got our keyframe, that's when he's first getting kicked, so we want him right where he is. Next thing we're going to do over here is we'll go out here a little further, insert another keyframe there, and what we want to do is take this guy and basically pull him back, tilt him a little bit, and have him go fly off the stage pretty much. So we'll take him a little further. He's out of the frame there. So basically this guy kicks him and he goes flying off. So to make all this pretty, what we're gonna do, the reason we got all these guys on different frames, we're gonna go ahead and make this a big old motion tween right in here when he jumps up. So create a big motion tween, boom, bam. Then as you go across, he flies up, kicks him, and lands back down. Good deal there. And here we want to start with the kick and insert big old motion tween here. Motion tweens are great. They save a lot of work. Keyframing, you know, individual frames and a lot of detail. Don't worry, let Flash do all the work. Works great. Getting kicked, flying off, and actually I think he's not quite tilted enough, so we'll go ahead and tilt that guy a little bit more. Maybe make him go up in the air a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Let's try that. Bam, going and flying off. And we'll make that a little faster and pull that over here. So test that again. Bam, getting kicked off. Okay. Looks absolutely fantastic, and that's your story there. I like to go ahead, another thing we'll do here, back on that same frame, whenever this guy gets kicked, that was frame 11. Right here, we'll go ahead and insert another keyframe on a separate layer, and grab your little paint tool, switch over to bright red, and actually we'll make this one more. So right after he gets kicked, we're going to put some blood in here. Blood is fantastic. You know, that's the color, that's, you know, really your essence of this movie. So you get this blood in here. So create a little keyframe, insert another one. See, he's flying back. Just fill in the space with a little more blood. Insert a keyframe, a little more blood as he's flying off. This is the place where the keyframes are great, and you can't replace this with motion twinning. You know, you gotta do this by hand. I know it's a pain, but you know, another keyframe, a little more blood, keyframe, a little more blood. You know, basically just fill in where he's going. Splattered. You know, maybe, you know, a little coming down on his leg. However artistic you want to get with it, and then just keep filling in. Do a little bit more keyframe. So we'll go ahead and just fill in all the rest of this. So like there's so much blood. People love the blood. Junior high kids, elementary kids, everybody loves the blood. So we'll go ahead and get all that filled in there for you. Make sure that layer is underneath the guy. So basically it gets kicked, bam, blood everywhere, goes flying off. Fantastic. And like I mentioned, when he gets kicked, you want a keyframe in here for that keyframe. Go over to our library and pull this little punch down there. So if you notice, bam, he's getting kicked right there. So that sound effects, the punch will come out. And another thing you want to do, you want a little music in there. So you want to combine the punches with heavy metal music. So I go ahead and load some metal music all the way through. And so that's pretty much it. Simple characters, blood everywhere, kung fu fighting, same punch noise for every hit that you do, and really hardcore metal over the whole thing. So it all blends together, you know, audio like. And there you go. That solves it right there, and you'll end up with a great video that looks about like this.
They took me from 1,000 deaths.